Uh, the subject title, Fluid Machinery, and the course code, please do remember, MET, it's a theory part actually, so MET 206. Okay, see the prerequisite one, see what is essential for this course is the previous one, your MET 203, Mechanics of Fluid. Since you have covered the basics of fluid mechanics, and this is going to be easy for you. Then fluid machinery, see that it's all about fluid machines. What do you mean by fluid machines actually? Fluid, the word, keyword is fluid actually. So the important point you have to keep in mind is these two facts. See, I hope you can see the screen. Okay. So if you extract energy from the fluid and then the machine is operated, then such machines are power producing devices. The turbines will be under this category. And turbines in the sense we have hydraulic turbines or gas turbines and steam turbines. See, hydraulic turbines, as the word implies, you know, it's hydro, it's related with water. So water turbines. So turbines energized by water. And if the turbine is energized by gas or steam, then that is another category, gas turbines and steam turbines, which handle compressible fluid. Compressible gas or air is compressible. Water is incompressible. Okay. So this is in general. So please keep in mind. And in power absorbing devices or work consuming devices, we have a situation where energy is imparted, energy is given to the fluid from the machine component, from the mechanical rotating element, energy will be imparted to the fluid. And such machines will be in this category, power absorbing devices or work consuming devices. And examples, pumps, compressors, fans, blowers, etc. And out of which pumps will be handling incompressible fluid. And compressors, fans, and blowers will be handling compressible fluids. The first topic. See, fluid machines, as you know, it has immense applications, starting from the household or domestic pumps to the modern aircraft engines, which employ gas turbines. Okay, gas turbine engines. So we have wide variety of fluid machines that we come across everyday's life. So we have the centrifugal pumps, reciprocating pumps, hydraulic turbines used in hydroelectric power stations, etc. Okay. So impact of jet on vanes, that is the first topic. Impact, a liquid jet delivered into the atmosphere, that is called a free jet, and the pressure is atmospheric. And from where this jet is coming, normally we use, let's say if you have a pipeline and at the end of the pipe you have a nozzle, say nozzle. See, this is a symbolic representation of a nozzle, and this nozzle is delivering the jet. So when you talk about nozzle, what is it used for? It is used for increasing the kinetic energy of the fluid. Kinetic energy means we are imparting high velocity. So the high velocity jet that is coming out. So when the jet is a free jet, that means the pressure is atmospheric. So that jet is striking a disc. Let us say a common example. Say this is a circular disc. Okay, circular disc, and a jet is striking on it at its center. And the jet usually, if we are not talking about the other shapes and cross sections, normally it will be a cylindrical jet. So it can be, jet can have other cross sections as well. For example, rectangular or square cross sections, depending upon the nozzle or the cross section of the conduit from where the jet is coming out. Okay, so if you have a circular nozzle, and then it will definitely deliver a cylindrical jet. And that cylindrical straight jet, which in this figure is horizontal, and it is striking a vertical plate. So plate can have any shape, but here I used a circular thin disc, let us say, and that disc is fixed. So it is not movable. Even when the jet strikes and the force is exerted, the plate is not allowed to move because it is firmly fixed. So a stationary flat plate. Okay, so our second case would be this plate will be moving one. So the plate surface, regarding the plate surface, I want to tell you something more. That is, the surface of the plate or vane is smooth and frictionless. See, vanes actually is a technical term for the plate or blades. And hereafter in turbines and all, turbines and pumps and other fluid machines, will be talking about the rotating part. Rotating part of a turbine is called a runner, and rotating part of a pump is called an impeller. And this runner and impeller will be having blades or vanes fixed on it. Curved blade, essentially curved blades. Curved blades or curved vanes fixed on it. And so that's why we use this technical term. Okay, so you can use plate, you can use blade, we can use vanes. Okay, so the vane is a technical term. And here first we have two types of vane to consider, two types of vanes. One is flat and the other one is curved. See here what a curved plate is shown. You can consider such cases, and if you take a two-dimensional cross section, it will be like this. Two-dimensional. That, I mean, you should understand. And when you schematically represent on paper, this 2D sketches are sufficient. Two-dimensional diagrams are sufficient for you. And here this circular plate, you know, the edge view, if you consider the edge view, it is here. See this one. This is the edge view of it. Edge view, which is essentially a rectangle, a thin disc. So we will show like this. The vertical disc is represented here, and the jet coming out of the nozzle is striking it. Now we will deal with it more. The technical aspect and other, the principle to find out the force exerted by the jet on the vane, etc. Namukku ഇതുപോലുള്ള ഒരു കേസിൽ ഒരു ലിക്വിഡ് ജെറ്റ് ഒരു പ്ലേറ്റിലേക്ക് സ്ട്രൈക്ക് ചെയ്യുമ്പം എന്തുമാത്രം ഫോഴ്സ് എക്സേർട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നു, അവിടെ വർക്ക് ഡൺ ഉണ്ടാവുന്നുണ്ടോ, ജെറ്റിന്റെ എഫിഷ്യൻസി എന്താണ്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ പ്ലേറ്റിന്റെ എഫിഷ്യൻസി എന്താ, ഫ്ലാറ്റ് വെയിൻ യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്നതാണോ കർവ്ഡ് വെയിൻ യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്നതാണോ നല്ലത്, വിച്ച് ഈസ് മോർ എഫിഷ്യൻറ്റ്, അതൊക്കെ അനുസരിച്ച് നമുക്ക് പിന്നെ ഹൈഡ്രോളിക് ടർബൈൻ്റെ പ്രിൻസിപ്പിൾസിലേക്ക് നമ്മൾ പോവുകയാണ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. Assumptions you have to keep in mind and write as and when required. Essentially important assumptions, these three. The first two are very prominent and you have to write everywhere. So the whatever plate or the vane we use for the force generation or power generation purpose, we will be considering these two assumptions, and the plate will be primarily these two assumptions. The surface of the plate or vane will be is perfectly smooth and frictionless, we consider. And when the liquid strikes, we consider that there is no loss of kinetic energy due to shock. This is very important. So I repeat, there is no loss of kinetic energy due to shock, and or even the liquid is having a shockless entry when it strikes the plate. And the other one is surface of the plate is perfectly smooth and frictionless. Okay, very finely polished. In practical sense, we consider that the plate is very finely polished. It is frictionless. It's extremely smooth, and there is no loss of kinetic energy due to shock when the jet strikes the vane. Okay, and then for our the continuous or constant power generation purpose or force exertion, the mass flow rate provided by the jet is constant or uniform. So a steady mass flow rate of liquid jet is striking the plate. That is also we consider. The cylindrical jet diameter is d, and what is the area of cross section? Area of cross section, if you take the circular cross section of the jet, if the diameter is d and area is pi by 4 d square, and this rho is the density of the fluid. If it is water jet, we know that we take maximum density 1000 kilogram per meter cube. That is the density of water. Or any other fluid jet, if you consider, you take the density of the corresponding fluid. So rho is the density of the fluid. See, what is the mass flow rate provided? Mass flow rate supplied by the jet, mass flow rate. See, mass flow rate means what? Mass flow rate, the amount of the mass content of the liquid jet striking the plate every second. So mass flow rate striking the plate, how do we find out? From fluid mechanics, we know that mass flow rate is essentially the product of mass density, area of the section of flow, and the velocity of flow, average velocity of flow, average. So rho into area into velocity. See, assume that the jet issues or the velocity, absolute velocity of the jet is V and area of cross section is A. Density of the jet is rho. So mass flow rate will be rho into area into velocity. And what is this area into velocity? Area into average velocity of flow. We know that is volume, Q, volume flow rate. Volume flow rate Q. So please do remember this mass flux and its unit. What is the unit? Kilogram per second. Rho is in kilogram per meter cube. Area is in meter square. V is in meter per second when you employ SI units. So rho into Q, that is the mass flow rate. So that is rho into area into applied velocity. And mass flow rate striking, that also will be same if the plate is stationary. If the plate is stationary, then the mass flow rate striking will be same. If the plate is moving, and we have a different situation. I will tell you that later. But for time being, mass flow rate supplied by the jet is entirely utilized here. Mass flow rate supplied or issued by the jet, cylindrical jet, is completely utilized here. It is striking the plate. Force is exerted. How the force is exerted? How the force is exerted? See, that can be answered from Newton's second law. By momentum principle. This is what I said. The underlying law, the force exertion and the consequent power generation and all, that is explained by Newton's second law. What is that? As applicable to this fluid jet striking the plate, how do we apply that? That is the rate of change of momentum undergone by the fluid jet. Rate of change of momentum undergone by the jet, that is proportional to the force exerted. So whenever the fluid undergoes a change in momentum, when it strikes, definitely there will be a force exerted. So external force exerted or force exerted by the fluid on the plate. So that is proportional to the rate of change of momentum undergone by the fluid. So how do we find that? See, the force, that F is equal to ma. That's a very famous one which we use very often. F is equal to m into a, mass into acceleration, but force and acceleration are vectors. Okay, they have magnitude as well as direction. So Fx is equal to max, I should say like that. So force exerted in the x direction. See here the direction is shown. X direction, jet is striking in horizontally, that is x direction. The vertical direction is y. So when we say Fx, you should understand that is force exerted by the jet on the plate in the x direction. So m into ax, see this mass, absolute mass. But when you talk about the fluids, we cannot say mass. Instead of absolute mass, we say mass flow rate. So m into ax, what is ax? Acceleration in the x direction. What is acceleration? It is the rate of change of velocity. So what is acceleration in the x direction? That is the rate of change of velocity in the x direction. So mathematically, ax is equal to dvx by dt. So m into dvx by dt and m by dt. What is m by dt? See, that is m dot. So hereafter we will write mass flow rate as m dot, m with a dot. So when you apply this momentum principle or Newton's second law in fluid mechanics, the F we write in this form. So Fx is equal to m dot into dvx. What is mass flow rate multiplied by change in velocity in the x direction. How do we explain this one? M dot into change in velocity in the x direction. This is very important. That's why I have highlighted this. And now, what is the force exerted in the x direction by the jet on the plate? Okay, horizontal jet striking normally on a stationary flat vertical plate. We have certain assumptions also. So Fx is equal to m dot into dvx and Fx is equal to m dot into dvx. What is change in velocity in x direction? We write v1x minus v2x. See, please understand that this v1x suffix 1 stands for the condition before striking. Suffix 2 stands for the condition after striking, after impingement. So the jet strikes, there is a collision with the plate, and before collision, just before the collision, the velocity of the jet in the x direction. So velocity of the jet before striking or at the time of impingement on the plate, that is v1x. What is v2x? Velocity of the jet after striking in the x direction. or we can say deflected jet. See, the jet after striking, what do we say technically? The jet is turned through 90 degree here, since the plate is vertical and the jet is horizontal. And in the practical sense, the jet is coming all around. See, like this, jet is deflected sideways in all directions. But all the portions of the jet will be deflected through 90 degree. The technical word is deflection. So the jet is deflected through 90 degree in this case. In two-dimensional sketch, we will symbolically represent the sidewise. The jet is divided sideways like this. So you have to draw this one. And this is about what? For the curved vein, and which we will discuss later on. See, what is the velocity of the jet in the x direction before impact, before collision? So at the time of impingement, v itself in the x direction. But after striking, please understand, after striking, the jet is deflected through 90 degree and it moves in the vertical direction, not in the horizontal direction. So what is the velocity v2x? See, v2x means the jet after deflection, what is the velocity in the x direction? See, it doesn't have a velocity in the x direction, velocity component in the x direction, because it is going after deflection, after impingement, it is going in the vertical direction. So a vertical vector doesn't have a horizontal component, you know. So v1x is v and v2x is not v, it is 0. See, you should not be confused. The velocity of the jet after striking, velocity is there, but its magnitude is v itself, magnitude is v. See, here also, this also you can have a confusion. നമുക്ക് ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു കൺഫ്യൂഷൻ തോന്നാം, ജെറ്റ് വന്ന് സ്ട്രൈക്ക് ചെയ്തിട്ട് അതിന്റെ വെലോസിറ്റി കുറയുന്നില്ലെന്ന്. പ്രാക്ടിക്കലി ആൻസർ ഈസ് യെസ്, കുറയും. Kinetic energy നഷ്ടപ്പെടാം, but we have an assumption. There is no loss of kinetic energy due to shock. So under this assumption, the velocity of the jet, its magnitude will remain the same. If somebody asks you, velocity strike ചെയ്തതിനു ശേഷം മാറുന്നോ എന്ന് ചോദിച്ചാൽ, your answer should be yes. Velocity മാറുന്നുണ്ട്. പക്ഷേ under this assumption, the magnitude is not changing. Direction is only changing. Direction change ചെയ്താലും momentum change വരും. Fluid jetന് momentum change വരുന്നോണ്ടാണ് force exert ചെയ്യുന്നത് by Newton's second law. Okay, so now we'll come back to this. What is v1x? v1x is v and v2x is not v, v2x is 0. v2, that is a very crucial point. But v2y, if somebody asks you what is v2y, then you can say v itself, because that is in the y direction. Okay, so after deflection, the jet is turned through 90 degree, it goes vertically. Therefore, the velocity of the jet in the x direction after impact is 0. So therefore, what is m dot? M dot is rho av. So mass flow rate striking the plate multiplied by v1x is v, v2x is 0. So rho av into v minus 0, that is v itself. So rho av into v, rho av square. So fx is equal to rho av square. This is the equation you have to keep in mind in the first case. Okay, see, whenever, so hereafter, what should be in your mind whenever you have a jet, liquid jet striking normally on a stationary plate, and under those assumptions, the force exerted by the jet normally on the plate, normally in the sense here it is, jet is horizontal, plate is vertical. So force is exerted in the x direction, that fx is equal to rho a v square. Work is said to be done when the point of application of force is displaced in the direction of force. So here, whether there is any work done, the plate is, the point of application of force is here. See this one, I am showing with the mouse. See, this is fx, fx is acting here. And but even though fx is exerted on the plate is not moving. Why it is not moving? Because it is fixed. Whenever there is velocity of the plate or moving plate case, we will treat the velocity of the plate or velocity of the vane as u. Okay, velocity, absolute velocity of the jet as v. These are the usual notations. So here u is 0. U is 0 means what? The plate is not moving. So since the plate is not moving, see what is work done? Work done per second by the jet on the plate. So that is fx into displacement of the plate per second. You know, the force is force into displacement. That will be the work done. Work done is a scalar quantity. Force multiplied by displacement per second in the direction of the force. It is a dot product of force and the displacement vector. So Fx into displacement of the plate in the x direction per second. What is displacement of the plate per second? Velocity. Here the velocity of the plate is 0. So Fx into 0. There is no work done. Okay, just for the academic importance, I have written here work done per second by the jet on the plate is 0. So output power of the jet. See, this is very important. What do you mean by power of the jet? That means output power of the jet. So power of the jet means it is the work done per second by the jet on the vane on which it's striking. Okay, so output power of the jet, that is the work done per second by the jet on the plate, or rate of work done by the jet on the vane, and that in this case is 0. And what is input power? But input power is definitely there because the jet is striking with increased kinetic energy, with some kinetic energy. It has a velocity v, and kinetic energy even from school classes, you know, half mv square. But in this case, in fluid mechanics, when you write, we never talk about absolute mass, but we talk about mass flow rate. But remember, while calculating input power provided by the jet, what you should take is kinetic energy supplied by the jet per second. Kinetic energy supplied by the jet per second. Kinetic energy is measured in joules, so joule per second. What is joule per second? It is watts. Oh, so okay, kinetic energy half m dot v square. But remember, we talk about m dot here in the expression for force. But here that m dot is mass flow rate striking the plate. And here input power calculation, kinetic energy supplied by the jet, that is mass flow rate issued or supplied by the jet. So mass flow rate supplied and mass flow rate striking can be different when you consider moving plate cases. Okay, so half m dot v square, but in this case it is rho av, mass flow rate striking the plate as well as mass flow rate supplied by the jet, that is rho into a into v. So half rho av into v square, so it is half rho av cube. So this half rho av cube, that is the kinetic energy supplied by the jet per second. Even though that kinetic energy is supplied here, the plate is not moving since it is fixed, and therefore the work done is 0. Output power of the jet is 0, but input power is definitely there. And what do you mean by efficiency of jet? It is a ratio of work done per second by the jet on the vane to the kinetic energy supplied by the jet per second. So it is work done per second divided by kinetic energy per second. Output power of the jet divided by input power supplied by the jet. So 2 by 1, see why 2? Because I have written 2 is the work done, this one output power, and 1 is the input power, that is kinetic energy supplied. So here it is 0. But later on, in the case of moving plate, that is the next one, moving plate, we will be having that. We will be having this work done.